Manchester High School. It's May 11th. I'm Lauren Packer.
And I'm Michael Christie. It's countdown time. Only 1 month left of school. Lauren, are you excited to finally graduate?
Absolutely, but I'm definitely going to miss my friends and all of the amazing things going on here at MHS.
Speaking of which, we have a lot to cover today.
On this week's Pulse, we explore a Manchester tradition that brings both families and our community closer together.
And then we'll highlight an integral member of the Manchester school community who makes a difference every day in the classroom and on the court.
And finally, we'll take a deeper look into the meaning behind the annual spring rite of passage, prom, and how it has changed over the decades.
All this and much more coming up. You're watching
The Pulse. While some grandparents are comfortable texting and using Facebook, many grandparents seek out unique events and pastimes to bond with their grandchildren.
Last Saturday, Manchester's annual Senior and Child Fishing Derby provided an opportunity for young and old alike to get outside and spend some quality time together.
Ryan Stewart cast a line to see how these Manchester families reeled in a good time.
Harry Middleton, a Southern American nature writer, once wrote, "Fishing is not an escape from life, but often a deeper immersion into it." The annual Salters Pond Fishing Derby that took place last weekend here in Manchester, many families came down to experience this deep immersion. The event started at 7 and ended at 10 a.m. Kids of all different age groups had 3 hours to fish for the biggest catch of the day. When they would catch the fish, they would bring it to Stephen Becker to weigh it.
I write down, I'll take all the kids' names and numbers, and I write down how heavy they are, and I hand out the trophies at 10 o'clock.
One person who competed in this competition was 12-year-old Troy Vidal.
I feel like fishing is a great way to test people's patience, so that's what I really like about fishing. So far, it's only been pickerel, but I'm hoping to catch more.
But this event is not all about the trophies and competition. According to Ed Gorman, it's about
just giving back to the community and watching the kids' eyes light up when they get a chance to fish. I like the camaraderie, meeting a lot of friends out here, and really getting to know the kids that are here, because they come back with their grandkids. We've had that happen many times before.
Right here at Salters Pond, people of all ages come to spread knowledge and enjoy a little friendly competition with family and friends. From The Pulse, this has been Ryan Stewart reporting.
It looks like everyone that attended finally got a taste of the spring weather. What a great day to be at Salters Pond.
And speaking of outside events, RC, a popular graffiti artist based here in Connecticut, is at the start of an international tour showcasing his creative process. His first stop, Manchester High School.
On Friday, May 4th, all of MHS had an up-close and personal encounter with musical legend Ella Fitzgerald. This was all made possible by worldwide artist RC.
The school presented me with several different ideas to work with. Ella just kind of jumped out at me. She had an amazing life, and very productive, and she reached a lot of her goals, and she just the sky was the limit for her, so I wanted to embody that.
Art comes in so many forms, but ever since 1967, people like RC have been expressing their artistic skills through graffiti.
I love that it's graffiti because it's photorealism, it's beautiful art, but it's also kind of counterculture, and it's a different type of art, and so it's all of these different types of art combined into one. So I love that it's that kind of representation.
Mr. Delaney, an English teacher here at MHS, believes that this mural has more meaning behind the paint.
I think that Ella Fitzgerald as a person, if you look her up a little bit and learn about her, she was really progressive in her time. And I think that as a woman of color, the future is female. You've heard that said before, but I really believe that, and I think that we need more women, and more women of color in particular, to be empowered and help us, lead us into the future as a country, as a community. And I think this is a beautiful thing and a perfect thing. And I think Ella Fitzgerald and the way that this art is being put together will be representation of that and the future of Manchester.
Known as Lady Ella, who grew up in the 1920s, persevered through segregation and discrimination. Some would say her morals and beliefs are parallel to the MHS core values.
I think having her established as this mural in our PAC room 165 for many, many years is going to be really a representation of what MHS stands for.
Ella Fitzgerald, who once said, "I sing how I feel." Her voice will be echoing here at MHS. From Manchester, this has been Alexa O'Quenna reporting.
It's so cool that MHS was given the amazing opportunity to see RC live in action.
Yeah, I'm so glad I had a chance to stop by. To see more of RC's work, go to www.rcofficial.com or follow him on Instagram at RCArt.
The creation of this mural really makes me think of all the unique opportunities that MHS gives to its students.
Yeah, especially with all of the hard-working staff members here to make sure our school is in the best that it can be.
One of those staff members, Mr. Maloney, has devoted over 30 years of his life of being a coach, teacher, and mentor many of those that have walked these halls. Haley Rogers takes a closer look at the effort he has put into making a lasting impact on the student body.
37 years of teaching, just as many years of coaching, and countless impacted students later, Mr. Maloney has dedicated his classrooms and courts to the ever-changing Manchester High School community. Mr. Maloney spends part of the school day co-teaching law and order at the Manchester Police Station, where students learn the fundamentals of policing. He believes the students enjoy the class because
it's interactive. They get to ask a lot of questions, they get to see a lot of scenarios, and they really kind of get a hands-on feel of what policing is in Manchester.
when he's not at the station, students and staff can find him in his classroom teaching AP European history. Island Zadam, a student taking AP Euro, enjoys having Mr. Maloney as a teacher because
if I ever need help or if I need to stay after school or see him during flex, he's always willing to do that, and he'll go out of his way to help me.
A former student, Shannon Packer, remembers her days with Mr. Maloney.
So I had Mr. Maloney in 2004 for my junior year for AP US History. He was one of the best teachers that I had while I was in high school. I think that the Manchester High School community is just really lucky to have him as a teacher.
Mr. Maloney's dedication to the MHS community does not stop once the school day is over.
So I've been coaching tennis since I got here too. I'm over 30 years as a tennis coach at MHS. I've seen a lot of changes in that. When I first started, we used wooden rackets. We used balls that didn't bounce for very long.
Although the game of tennis has changed for Mr. Maloney and his team, his love for teaching has stayed the same. From Manchester, this has been Haley Rogers reporting.
One of the most important parts of events such as prom is definitely the photo shoots beforehand. It's hard to imagine what our parents' proms must have been like.
Yeah, and surprisingly, this hasn't been the only major change in this nationwide tradition has seen. Olivia McHugh gives us an in-depth look on how prom has changed over the years.
A promenade dance, shortened in modern times to prom, is a formal dance held by high schools at the end of the year. Over the history of MHS, it has changed drastically.
Gary and Sharon McHugh, graduates of MHS in 1966 and 1968, described their prom experience. No one went without a date. It was rare not to. We wore long formal dresses, and after prom we went to a dawn dance, where we changed into casual clothing and kept dancing. The next day, many people would go to the beach. Kelly Burns, a former MHS student and now an art teacher here at MHS, described her prom experience to us.
The prom was held here in the cafeteria at Manchester High School, and I was part of the prom committee and helped organize. And I was elected prom queen, and the prom king was a person who I'm actually still friendly with.
Junior Prom 2018 was last Saturday, May 5th at Meneely's in South Windsor. Girls now can be typically found in long, elaborate, and detailed dresses, with guys in full tuxes. Modern music is played as people dance in groups, often going stag, a term used to describe going to a dance without a date and hanging out with friends instead.
As a current MHS sophomore myself, I won't be able to attend prom until next year, but I'm eager to see how it will be unique from all the other years past. From The Pulse, this has been Olivia McHugh reporting.
Junior prom looked like a blast, but I didn't realize how different the styles were back in the day.
And seeing how much more important taking pictures is today definitely makes me realize how much the digital world is taking over.
Yeah, I think aside from this, video games are also a huge contribution to the transition.
One of those video games I'm sure many have heard by now goes by the name of Fortnite and is currently taking internet by storm. Patrick Doherty takes us through the eyes of a player to find out what makes this game so special.
Yeah, you'll make it though. I'll hit the bridge.
Okay.
Where are we dropping, boys, is a question that has been asked millions of times in the past few months. This question is one that brings the gaming community together as one. Fortnite Battle Royale is a 100 player versus player shooting game that has brought lots of attention to the gaming community over the past few months. The game includes many modes and even features a squads option where you can play online with friends.
So it's like, since everyone's playing it now, it's not hard to play with someone, so there's always people to play with, and it's like, it's growing pretty fast.
The game's competitiveness and need for communication is one that has created bonds, strengthened friendships, and revolutionized the gaming community.
Well, I think Fortnite has become so successful just because it's suitable for like all ages. There's like kids from all ages, from like 8 to like even like 30, still playing the game. So it's kind of fits everyone. So like everyone like can play it like at any time.
Along with its friendship benefits, the company Superdata says that Fortnite made nearly $126 million in February of 2018 alone. Although some may say that the shooting aspect of Fortnite is dangerous to the minds of the young, the unrealisticness of Fortnite gameplay makes it safe for everyone that plays.
Personally, I don't really think that it's that big of a deal because technically you're just eliminating from the game, you're not actually killing them, and it's really like animated and unrealistic, so it's not like it's putting kids in a real situation where they're actually going to practice killing people or anything like that. It's more just for fun.
I mean, Fortnite's very unrealistic. It's an animated game, so it's not really realistic at all. The only thing I could say, it might be a distraction to like certain students, but like overall, it's not really dangerous to anybody.
Season 4 of the game just released, and it features new locations, animations, new emotes, and playable characters. As the game is developed, new features and game modes have been added to Fortnite. Because of the ability to make new friends and have fun while you're playing, Fortnite Battle Royale will continue to be a pastime for the youngest generations of players across the country. From The Pulse, this has been Patrick Doherty reporting.
It's great to see that millions of people are not only enjoying the game, but also have found a new place to meet new people and make new friends.
I agree. Lauren, you should play with me sometime. I'll take you down.
You might, but Mario Kart, that's a different story.
Well, that's all we have for you this week, Manchester. Be sure to tune in next week where we highlight our official principal, Miss Minor, and review the MHS dress code.
If you have any suggestions for stories we might have missed, email Mr. Larson at b11elars@mpspride.org or visit us in the communications suite.
If you're interested in learning more about the Pulse or to see some of the other projects, visit mhstelevision.com.
Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook at MHS Red Prod. I'm Lauren Packer.
And I'm Michael Christie. This has been
The Pulse.